point number one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Yep. Well, I guess that happened. Oh, before I paid attention. What? That's what it was.
Say about
It was
that.
supposed to be tomorrow.
Well, and that's the
I've
comparison.
got a few. Coffee, Christie.
And there are cookies up there.
I didn't have permission.
Oh, well, we didn't ask. We didn't.
They were untouched. Somebody did ask, they thought they were ornaments. This made the good show. Wow, yeah. It's the before the room.
I think we're ready. Call the meeting to order and last one, please join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Christie, call the roll, please.
Jeff Swansea,
Here.
Bobby Kowski,
Here.
Becky Marks. Here. Tom Mallow,
Present.
Tim Thompson.
And if I heard correctly, Jim might be joining us later.
It's in Tampa.
Okay. Chief, any amendments to the agenda?
Kind of, sort of. So Emily has something that she's gonna add when we get to the IGAs.
Yeah, it'll be part of the discussion on the IGAs for the assessment and collection of impact fees, so it's nothing that we need to add to the agenda, and we also will not be asking the board to take action on it. It's just for discussion.
Okay. And Chief, I heard there might be some type of presentation or awards today.
That is correct, Mr. Chairman. So, as I think everybody now knows, and, Director Mallow kind of let the cat out of the bag, dipping into the cookies. So they actually weren't for, Director Mallow, they were for, Director Marsh. So, I just wanted to take, all right. They're obviously, they're for everybody. And, so, Director Marsh, on behalf of all of us, we wanted to express our appreciation to you for your service to Loveland Fire Rescue Authority in our community. So this being your last meeting, we do have cookies, but I also have something else for you. So we'll grab that real quick.
We're gonna miss your laugh, Mayor.
It's my mother's laugh. I inherited.
So we know you're gonna be traveling to Utah, so there's a sweatshirt for you. And well, I know it's not much, it's from the heart. So, in grateful recognition for your selfless dedication, leadership, and service to Loveland Fire Rescue Authority, your commitment to the safety and well-being of our community, your steadfast support of public service, and your unwavering advocacy for collaboration have made a lasting impact on the men and women of Loveland Fire Rescue Authority and the citizens we serve. With sincere appreciation for your guidance and partnership in advancing our mission to protect and enhance the lives of others. Presented this day, 29th of October, 2025.
Thank you.
Wait, can you grab that real quick?
Okay.
Photo?
Sure.
I didn't dress for it. Hold on.
That's all right.
It's not bad. No problem.
I'm in the actual white shirt.
I don't know that we have a bathroom.
Look at that.
There you go. John, you want to hold your?
Yes, from.
Here, let's do this. Let's do this, man. We'll put this there. Okay.
Whether it wants to, they get it.
It's been an honor, truly it has.
I thought the sweatshirt was mine.
No, it's off of it.
Mayor, this is your chance to make a speech.
Oh, I know, please, just thank you, I truly do appreciate being part of Building Parade. Really, it's been an honor, you guys do great work every day, I really do appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
All of our firefighters and staff.
Thanks for all you've done. We're gonna miss you and your support.
You'll always have it if you need me.
I got you on speed dial.
Okay.
Chief, do you have anything else?
No, not from that item.
Chief Ward, do you have anything?
I do. Our fire chief was nominated for the George Mazzati Fire Chief of the Year Award for the state of Colorado. And that was announced last week. Unfortunately, he was narrowly beat out by, the chief of Hotchkiss. It's been around for a long, long time in the state, but I thought we should recognize, Chief Sendleback for members of the organization. We didn't even know it was really taking place. They came together and submitted a nomination for Chief Sendleback. So congratulations.
Appreciate the nomination. I was not aware. So thank you.
Chief Smith, give you a chance to.
Nothing to add.
What do we pay you for?
His wonderful attitude, come on.
Brain's locked in somewhere else, sorry.
Thank you. All right, that will take us to public comment. Is there anybody out in the audience, first of all, here in person? How about on the internet?
If anyone online would like to make public comment, please use the raise your hand feature.
Okay, hearing none, that will take us to our consent agenda. The only thing I see in there is the minutes, any conversation there? If not, I'll take a motion to accept.
So moved.
Second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, number two. Continue the public hearing from September LFRA board meeting and consider a motion to adopt resolution R184. Adopting the 2026 budget and consolidated fee schedule for LFRA. Calendar year beginning first day of January 26, ending December 26. Do we need to actually open up for a public hearing, Emily? And if so, I guess we need you to certify it.
Well, so I made the initial certification, so we're good to go on that. All we need is a motion to open the public hearing. Is there any final comments?
So moved.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are now conducting a public hearing, so we'll open it up to any comments or questions from the public. Anything out there?
I don't see any, sir.
Okay, need a motion to go back into our regular meeting. For a
Second.
second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are back. And, Chief, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I'll be relatively quick. This is just trying to catch everybody up on kind of the progress made to date. Just for clarification, we're doing this backwards. There's some administrative details that are gonna be necessary at the rural board. So as you lay out the budget, the format of scheduling is supposed to be LFRA board approves the budget, then it goes to the respective governing bodies. We're kind of doing this backwards. The city has approved their budget. The rural has given us authorization to basically change the spending. So I'm going to share that with you here in a second and their contribution. We will have to go back administratively to the rural board and finalize it with them. But what I'm going to present to you is kind of the synopsis of everything or kind of the conclusion of what we've created, meeting with all parties. So just a staff action today, and I'll be brief with this, but hopefully you can kind of follow the trail. So the rural board, we presented the original budget request at 2%. So that was
a conversation, and then, Brian had shared the city's, 2% figure, so we presented that to the rural board. Staff was asked to reevaluate, the request that we put forth, because we talked about, that we would be, with non-discretionary spending, we would be dipping into, fund balance. Staff was asked to review the changes with city finance. Brian and his staff, we presented the revised proposal, to Brian and his staff. Then we came back to the LFRA board. Staff presented a revised proposal on September 24th. The board suggested 2.5% increase, and that was additional conversation, and the city manager's request that we bump that to 2.5% based on previous conversations. So to do that, the emphasis was to focus on the 4% pool fund for employees, because we were talking about salaries. I'm emphasizing that pool fund because I don't want it to be misconstrued. It is basically a pool of money that is being dispersed amongst all employees. So employees aren't getting 4% per se. Use the additional funds to offset imposed expenses on employees. Most notable was the holding benefits at what they currently are. There was a 17% deficit. We were able to absorb that with this change, offset the additional needs using LFRA fund balance of $144,159. So that was going to be dipping into the fund balance. Moving forward, went back to the rural board on October 18th, presented the revised budget request at 2.5%. The board approved an additional $225,000 contribution. So it's a 2.5% matching contribution at 20% from the rural board, an additional $225,000 contribution, which kept us from having to dip into our fund balance. Spending from fund balance was not required with this additional contribution. So again, the deficits that we were directed to address were the employee wages, cost of existing benefits, revised equipment, services requests, and proposed promotions. So what you see on the board is the 2.5% contributions of each party, and then approve the use for unstaffed or unused staffing funds. So these were funds that were previously dedicated to the 13 FTEs. So where we had financial savings there, we were able to reallocate that money to cover these expenses. So what does it look like in spreadsheet format for those of you that are spreadsheet fans? We'll start with the LFRA generated revenue. So I do want to call attention to this because previously in 2025, we estimated 1.1 in revenue. We did decrease that because we are not hitting that mark. So that kind of puts us in a deficit. So it was a reduction on projected revenue. Those are fees, impacts, fees and so forth, $368,500. The city's contribution at 80% goes up by $473,000. The rural's contribution at 20% goes up by $396,000. That is their additional contribution above and beyond, or inclusive of their additional contribution. So total revenue projections with partner contributions, $27,435,467 for a difference of just over $500,000. So any questions on that? So those are the budget numbers that we're looking at. I do want to just kind of, just for everybody's
comment on that.
Yep.
Everybody might recall at our last meeting, we didn't take a vote on it, but we all kind of nodded in agreement that if the rural didn't come up with another 225,000, we were going to take it out of reserves. No surprise, I should let Paul talk about this since he's president of the rural, but Paul, do you want to talk about what happened at the rural level then?
As a board, the district decided the right thing to do was come up with additional cash, so you didn't have to take it out of reserves. It was unanimous vote, and it was the right thing to do to assist with the raises and everything else that you wanted to do, Tim. So we were happy to do that.
Thank you.
If I can piggyback on that too, that's in addition to, I think it's 400,000 that we gave this fall for wildland fighters. I mean, we're well over $7 million for the last 3 years. I know I'm repeating myself, but I think it's important because just as recent as yesterday, I had a FRAC member come up to me and question why the rural wasn't doing more to fund the fire authority. That concerns me deeply. This is somebody on our own Citizens Advisory Committee doesn't understand how the rural is really stepping up to the plate and contributing way, way beyond what they should be doing. There's an IGA, we honor that, and we continue to keep coming forward with more money. So I hope everybody appreciates what the rural's doing. And I'm not patting myself or Paul on the back. That's not my intent at all. My concern is there's firefighters and citizens out there don't understand the added contributions that are being made on behalf of not just the rural board, the taxpayers. The taxpayers are the ones that are funding this. So anytime we make these decisions and we say no to extra money that's being asked for, it's not coming out of my pocket. I have nothing to gain by saying no, same for Paul. But we do have this fiduciary relationship to the voters in the rural fire district. We're spending their money. So I just think it's important that we share that and once again, just emphasize the contributions being made by the rural taxpayers. Go ahead, Chief.
So I do want to draw some attention to this. This is not something that we've put forth in the past. It's always been part of the budget, but I just want to call a little bit of attention to this. So these are our fund balances across the board. So the general fund, which some may call that a reserve fund, typically would be funded at 15% or held at 15%. That is a reflection of just over 7% at $1.9 million. So I just want to share that with you. We've been able to basically present a budget thanks to the rural's contributions, but I do think this is important to note. You look at the apparatus replacement fund, which looks like a substantial amount of money. We would typically contribute $750,000 to that. I have advocated because of the cost within our industry increasing. I'd advocate that we contribute 1.5 million to that fund. We have not made a contribution to that. So that was one of the financial savings that we basically made, but that is also in conjunction with the cuts that we have put forth for the 2025 budget. Is we are trying our best to elongate the apparatus replacement program. So while that looks like a substantial amount of money, the current apparatus replacement program, one purchase would basically take that. So we are already behind by two engines. So we're holding this to try to kind of make our way through that moving forward. The $230,000 that you see there is an expenditure for 2 vehicles. That would be our public education and outreach and a replacement of a battalion unit. So that's the expenditure that we have for this year. Capital, this is literally, we talk about Station 3, we talk about Station 5. That's what's in the capital fund. We've made no contribution to the capital fund at this point. So if you couple this with the impact fees of 3.5 million, that's literally what we would have available for Station 3, Station 5. Now, bear in mind, I say that with a pause, because part of that 3.5 is the allocation that goes to Station 7 and Station 5. What we haven't discussed is impact fees are used to pay for that mortgage of that station. So I just want everybody to know where we are with that. So that's actually my presentation.
Okay, open it up for board conversation. Questions, comments? Okay, well, we're not voting on anything today because.
No, we do.
I do, there is a
Yeah,
motion.
please.
Okay,
Yeah, we have to approve that number, and then I go back to the rural board and clean up.
then we're
that
gonna
number.
approve it again.
No, you're,
This is it.
yeah,
Final vote.
yes.
Okay, excellent.
Unless I go to the rural board and there's a change there.
All right, I move to adopt resolution R-174, adopting the LFRA 2026 budget and 2026 consolidated fee schedule for the Loveland Fire Rescue Authority, State of Colorado, for the calendar year beginning on the first day of January 2026, and ending on the last day of December 2026.
Before I ask for a second, I think Paul had a comment. He had his hand up in the air.
It's a
sorry.
question, no, you're fine, Mayor. We can catch it at the rural meeting, so it's not germane really to them. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I'll second that while I'm yakking.
Okay.
Okay, further discussion. Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, thank you. That will take us to item number 3. Conduct a public hearing, consider a motion to adopt resolution R-179, adopting a supplemental budget regarding the appropriation of monies to and expenditure of monies from the LFRA Fleet Replacement Fund. So I'll take a motion to do so.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're now in a public hearing. I think you do need to certify this one, right?
That's fine. You need to certify for the record that notice of today's public hearing was duly published as required by law, and there were no public comments prior to today's.
Okay, public meeting. Comments, questions?
If anyone online would like to make public comment, please use the raise your hand feature.
Okay, hearing none, I'll take a motion to go back into regular session
So moved.
for a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries, chief.
Okay, Chairman Swanee, this is an administrative cleanup as well. This is the money for the 400,000 that was provided by the rural for the wildfire mitigation equipment. So basically, this is just going through the administrative process of adopting a supplemental budget for LFRA to spend that money. You want to add to that?
It's just, the rural approved the money. We just need this board to formally approve it.
And we've spent those monies, right?
Correct, that's why I'm
Because
saying
this is
it's
just
a,
cleaning up.
yeah, it's not additional money, it's
Got
just
it.
an administrative. This, in all fairness, this should have been done, this was lost in the mix. So we're basically putting it in the fund, it has been spent, but we're creating the paper trail to reflect
That's,
such.
I just was curious. Okay, thank you.
Further comments, questions? Okay, we're being asked to approve the resolution as written. I'll take a motion to that effect.
I move to adopt resolution R-179, adopting a supplemental budget regarding the appropriation of monies to and the expenditure of monies from the LFRA Fleet Replacement Fund.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further conversation? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, item number 4. Consider a motion to approve the intergovernmental agreements for the assessment, collection of fire impact fees with the city of Loveland, town of Johnstown, and Larimer County. Chief?
Okay, so you had the presentation, this board had the presentation from Michael, as far as our new, impact fee study. Emily has done a ton of work with the, respective agencies to, revise our IGA to reflect that. So I don't know if Emily, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so what you have in your board packet are the 3 updated IGAs. They are substantially similar. There are minor differences among them depending on the needs of the local agency. For example, the city of Loveland and Larimer County will collect the fees directly and then remit them to the authority, but Johnstown will not. So you can see the collection provisions are a little different. City of Loveland also has a couple of provisions that are required by their municipal code, but by and large, they're the same. I have worked with Vince here at the city, as well as Avi Rockland at Town of Johnstown and Frank, I think it's Haug, Haug, at Larimer County, as the legal counsels for the 3 agencies, and all the attorneys have signed off on these IGAs from a legal perspective. So we are asking the board to approve these IGAs today so that I can then send them back to those 3 attorneys, and they will then put them on the agendas for the next upcoming city, town, and county commissioner meetings, so that they can be fully approved and ready to be implemented by January 1st. In addition, and unfortunately, my computer won't connect my operating system, so I don't have it in front of me, but you have it in front of you, a document that's titled First Amendment to Loveland Fire Rescue Authority Bylaws. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, so the new statute that prompted all of this work says that fire districts, and you're entitled to those benefits due to your some other language in the authority statutes, but you can collect an impact fee so long as certain requirements are met, like you get an impact fee study and you do all the things you have to do. Well, one of the requirements is that your bylaws have certain magic words in them that allow you to collect and assess the impact fee. So what you have in front of you is, it looks like 4 pages. It's not, it's actually 1 with 3 signature pages. A 1-page amendment to the LFRA bylaws, which does, makes 3 changes. The first one is in section 1. The existing bylaws still refer to LFRA being organized under the 2011 IGA, which is outdated. So I just updated that to the 2017 amended and restated IGA. In section 2B, I have added the the third sentence that says, in accordance with CRS 29.1.203.5 and CRS 32.1.10.021D.5, the authority's powers include, but are in no way limited to, those set forth in the impact fee addendum attached here to as attachment 1. And then the third change creates that impact fee addendum with all the magic. The reason I'm bringing this to the LFRA board today is not for approval, but because the existing bylaws require any bylaw changes to be approved by the city and the rural. So if the board approves the 3 IGAs today, what I will do is send the IGAs to Vince, Avi, and Frank. I will also send to Vince this proposed IGA amendment, or excuse me, bylaws amendment, and I will send to Linda Lesney the bylaws amendment, because we need to get all these pieces wrapped together in order to approve the IGAs. And then I will bring this back to the board in November for consideration. And I'll give that back to you so you can read it later at your pleasure.
Well, are you sure you don't want a hard copy? I've memorized it already.
Of course, my computer is like, this always is the way technology works. But anyway, that's what I have for you, if there are any questions.
I have a question. Do we have any impact fee agreements with Earthid?
No, they
There's
have
nothing that goes
They
on
have
with
their own
Earthid?
impact.
Okay, so we don't do anything in conjunction with them at all, that we would have to do this sort of thing with?
You don't
No,
have
we-
jurisdiction in Berkeley.
Actually, no, we don't. So with us doing their prevention services, their community safety division services, Chief Dan worked with Chief Charles, very similar process, but it's their fees. They-
Okay, I was curious because I know we were doing some things together, if there was anything we
No.
had to do. Okay, cool, thank you.
And I do want to give Chief Dan and her staff my appreciation for the work that they did in preparation for this. So she's the one that's got to go and attend all these additional meetings, board of directors with the county commissioners and town of Johnston. So
Thank you. Further comments, questions from the board? Okay, it's being recommended approval of this. Be the last thing that we get to approve today, I believe. So here's your last chance, Mayor, to get your name written in history somewhere.
All right, I move to approve the intergovernmental agreements for the assessment and collection of fire impact fees with the city of Loveland, town of Johnstown, and Larimer County.
Thank you. That's very good. Is there a second? Further comments? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. That's very good. Okay. Discussion of regular board meeting dates for November and December 2025. Chief, so I guess that's you again.
I will actually turn this over to Christy to help us navigate.
Give her the dirty work.
So when we were reviewing the rest of the board meeting dates, it was noted that the November one was the day before Thanksgiving. And the December one was New Year's Eve. So we are proposing a couple other dates. I believe it is November 19th and December 17th.
Okay, board. Comments, questions? Is there any of those dates that won't work for anybody?
I'm good.
I have no life, I'm good.
Me too.
Do we need to vote on that?
Yeah, we'll revise the meeting schedule.
Right, bombard us with reminders.
Oh, well.
And you might want to let the city clerk know, because that the 18th is when the city council will be sworn in and they will select liaisons. So they need to make sure they know the very next day is an LFRA meeting.
Okay, very good. All right, chief, we're already here. Briefing papers and correspondence.
You're right. So we will share a few things with you, quite a bit of correspondence. This first one is from Eric Eads over at Utilities, City Utilities. This was for combined space rescue training. Captain Friedrichsen and Jake Doyle assisted with that. So City Department being helped out by the LFRA. The item in the lower right is John Kinney and his staff at the airport, given thanks to LFRA staff for their support with the air show and all things surrounding that. So we appreciate that note of thanks. The letter on the left is a letter that I received from Chief Pete Bradshaw down at Lafayette for Chief Class's contribution to their training officer selection process. So Chief Class supported them in the interview and assessment center process for their new training officer. The letter on the right is from Chief Germain out in Wellington. Chief Ward had mentioned this in the past. We actually opened our training facility to Wellington, which seems kind of extreme. Wellington had previously been conducting their training at PFA or Food or Fire Authority, but wasn't able to get access to it. So they were extremely excited. They took their entire shift and brought it down here on overtime. Looks like they want to do that multiple times a year. We can accommodate that. So it's good relationship building as well. This one here is our first effort. These are not dumpsters, should not be described as or defined as dumpsters. These are slash bins. And I'll give Chief Smith kudos for this, as well as Lieutenant Dedecker. These slash bins, it's a new program thanks to the rural's contribution. And actually, Director Lundquist, this is in your neighborhood. So these were deployed on Waltonia, which is a high-risk area for wildland fires or wildfires. These are deployed basically on a Friday. They get the opportunity as a community, amplifying the workforce, to cut their own slash, deposit it in these slash bins, and then we haul it off to either be recycled, chipped, or burned. So the new program was, I think it was a home run. The question is are we going to be able to keep up with the pace of the request? But on the side of them, you see a QR code that's not just basically branding it. It actually gives them instructions as to what can be deposited in those slash bins and what limitations and so forth. So it's a pretty good overall program. So kudos to everybody there. And this was from Beth Lowe. And Bill, I don't know if you know her. She's a very active person, sends a lot of emails at all hours of the day. Yes, but Beth was very appreciative. She's kind of leading the charge for Waltonia.
Chief, excuse me, do we haul those away, or?
Yes.
Do we have a contract?
We have a trailer that drags them back up on it.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
This is an article that was written by a young lady. I don't know that, yeah, Ingrid's not here, but Ingrid, who is our typically as so Ingrid was a contributor to this. She was kind of a mentor to this young lady, I believe, who wanted to be a engineer, architect. So Ingrid contributed to the article, but may have been misquoted a little bit. But this young lady had an interview with Ingrid and wrote the article. So I wanted to give
Ingrid, thanks for that, and to the young lady who is pursuing to be an architect. So a little bit of press, so LFRA in the news. I do want to highlight the one on the left. This is in regards to the Alexander Mountain Fire. I don't want to inject any bias, but I do have some concerns with the way this is moving forward. The gentleman who has been basically, how do you say it, in custody regarding the Alexander Mountain Fire is up for trial. There are some questions as to how that trial is going to go. I don't know if you've been reading it, but I would ask you to keep your eye on it. It does sound like there's some questionable things within that trial.
If you could elaborate, Tim, I don't.
There was a statement made by somebody that in the investigation process, as they were collecting evidence, that anybody could have set this fire. And it was just kind of flippant comments that seemed to be coming out that the defense is kind of using that on their side. So we will see, but I would advocate keeping your eye on that. The other one is Jim Perry. That's his logistics truck. So this is how we deploy our equipment, small items throughout the department, but great interview, five different questions asked of Jim regarding logistics and his involvement. He said multiple times that he would love to be a firefighter, but that time has passed. But to Jim's credit, he serves a critical role for us, so we're proud of him and the work that he's doing. This one here was kind of a direct result of Lieutenant Dedecker. These are some young gentlemen up at Storm Mountain who are taking on mitigation on their own. They kind of were hand in hand with Lieutenant Dedecker and have gone around the community doing some mitigation work. So I should let Chief Ward talk about this one. This is the annual honor flight. So Chief Ward, you want to?
Yeah, so the honor flight was last month. We did the send off with them with the flag as they went down Earhart Road towards the airport. And we had several of our neighboring departments. I think the furthest away was Platteville, Gilcrest that came over. So we had a bunch of our neighbors here to send them off. And then I think probably the more rewarding part for our members is it's just LFRA members. On the 9th they return and we go and help them off of the aircraft and welcome them home. And it's a pretty special event that we get to participate in.
Chief, did Mitchell take those pictures out of curiosity?
He took the ones of the send off, and I think Ian, one of our other photographers, took the other ones, if I remember.
I got a favor if I could ask it. Rotary Club is going to make a donation from their grant committee, and they were asking if I had any pictures. If I could get some of those from you or
I've got
Mitchell or
Yeah.
whatever, that would be great.
I'll send some your way.
Thank you.
Right, just a couple of quick updates. The radio lease program, if you recall, a third of our radios, we secured a previous lease on. This is our effort to kind of amplify our reach throughout the region. I think we had 5 partners initially. We're now unfortunately down to 2 partners, PFA and LFRA, in this radio lease program, to no fault of us. To be honest with you, it feels like the radio company's kind of slow rolling this. I don't want to be accusatory, but we've been working on this for a while, and it's literally, we want to order these radios under this lease. But long story short, with us and PFA, there's still a substantial savings there in the 27% range. So we have not finalized that. We're getting to the final paperwork, but we're trying to push that forward. So what that does is reduces our overall radio costs, disperses the expenditure across multiple years as opposed to a single year purchase. The 2024 IAFC adoption, Chief Dan has worked on that. Our goal is to basically put that in place across the board, all governing agencies, Larimer County, within our service area, Johnstown, as well as the city of Loveland come January first. So we've talked about that, not a whole lot, but the big thing there, just to kind of praise a little bit of the work that we've done, is we did include the component on AEDs being a requirement. Any structure within our community for public assembly of 99 people or more will be required to be equipped with an AED. We believe we're one of the first in the nation to do that.
If I could, Chief, and Chief Gannon, are there any stumbling blocks to have that done by January first?
Out there, I'm over. The inclusion election, this is on the rural side, so we have 4 distinct areas for inclusions. All of those passed, close races, but they passed. So we are intending to do a welcome to the LFRA to those community members, and then give them an overview of services. And one of the ones to highlight is the slash bin program, because we want them to understand how those will be deployed. So it's not like first come, first serve. It's based on prioritization per the CWPP. The next item is the forge. I bring attention to this because this has been a 3.5 year agreement with the forge, a handshake agreement with Dan and the owners of the forge to allow us to use their facility for training for not only the FRFC, most notably for the FRFC, a workout area and a classroom, but we have also used it for leadership training. We no longer have that. So that facility is no longer available. The agreement was literally, we would move throughout that facility based on space availability. They've done an excellent job of filling that space. So we're now kind of in a bind in regards to classroom facilities. So we'll continue to work on that. I just wanted to call attention to it. The meaningful sentence update, we've talked about this a little bit. We've worked with the municipal judge. So I think this occurs next month. We had 17 violators, certainly more violators of the fireworks ban in the city of Loveland, but 17 have gone down this path. Some have chosen to pay a fee. Others are going for the meaningful sentence. So the judge reached out to us and said, what would a meaningful sentence look like from your perspective? So what we're going to do is work on an educational perspective. We'll do about a 20-minute presentation on the risk of wildfire in our community when aerial fireworks are displayed. And then they will go to, I won't call it hard labor, but I think we got a couple of thorn bushes that they will send through the chipper or to the aircraft program. It will be more than just a couple. It will be about 3.5 hours worth of work, but that's what the judge is going to impose on them. It is voluntary work, so we've reduced our liability. And if they get run over by a moose, I think that's covered within the liability waiver that Emily put together.
Regretfully, Chief, I took the danger of this attack out of that.
Okay. I told her, I said, they violated a fireworks ban. They didn't kill anybody, but no, it was pretty. Anyway, we were covered.
If I can make a quick comment on that, and maybe something is being done here, and I realize we don't want to embarrass anybody, at the same time, I think there's some public relation things here to be done. Because I know other people in this room probably heard, why is nothing ever done about people illegally shooting off fireworks at 4th of July? It'd be great to have an article in the paper, something showing what's being done here, you know, saying these arrests were made, these people were found guilty. Again, I don't know whether they use names or not, and here's what's being done as a result of it.
Well, we've got orange vest and we're planning on shooting them from behind. So no faces will be revealed. I don't know what it'll look like, but I did.
We're gonna try and do something with a newspaper.
I'm gonna try. I don't know what those limitations are, but I mean, maybe it's just an article and not a picture or something like that.
Yeah.
60 minutes episode.
Yeah.
We gotta make sure that they don't.
Well, I think the other important piece there is the deterrence factor. It might deter somebody next year from shooting off fireworks.
Yeah, well, that's the hope. I hope we can educate the folks to make it a meaningful sentence. That's the objective.
If I could ask, Chief, who gave the citations to the,
PD.
oh, they did, okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, we're assuming there are a lot more than 17. I don't know how that number's devised, but they go down this path. They can either pay whatever or a meaningful sentence.
But PD was the one that gave them the summons,
Yeah.
not us, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't want to get in that path.
Can fire do that? Legally? Yeah, I think we can. But it's not something we're equipped to do.
It would be a code violation probably versus like a municipal law violation, right? So it's just a different authority. The Meaningful Sentence Program here is a city program and LFRA is a participant in that program. So it's a violation of city ordinance with a city violation, city sentence, city program. I got involved only because they reached out and said, this is the waiver we would typically use. Does it meet your purposes? And I said, no. So.
Shocker.
So, but we had a conversation, right? Like, in order for a waiver to be legally effective, it must be voluntary. If they don't have another choice, then this is involuntary. And they said, okay, so we'll give another choice, pay a fine or do some other sentence work or whatever. So it was a great collaboration with the municipal judge and her clerk and, but it truly is a city program that LFRA is participating in so that the punishment fits the crime.
But can they physically give a summons to a person?
This group, no.
Fire, right, okay, I didn't think so.
You
Has to
could
be
give, you could
police.
give a code violation if there's anything in the code about shooting off fireworks. Harry says there is.
Yeah, when we were municipal, we wrote tickets, but I don't think we've done it since we've been on authority.
We're not authorized for institutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have any interest in that, just so you know. Oh, I didn't think you did, yeah. Everybody loves a firefighter. Not one that is a citation. If somebody was doing that, I want to be part of it. Noted. Yeah.
Training update, we just did this last Thursday, Friday, but we had an acquired structure that was given to us. We've had it for about a year and the crew's been training in it. We did some burns on Thursday and then final burn down on Friday. The folks that gave it to us really worked well with us. In fact, helped us fund some of the legal fees and overtime to make it happen, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, I should say they covered all the legal fees, so we had another legal waiver. But we conducted this, so we had to have some folks on overtime. He footed that 100%, that overtime.
Can I ask you to watch this?
What is it? So, Boonstra?
Boomstrap, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Fire investigator class, so 3 of our members went to Platteville Gilchrist for a fire inspector class, or fire investigator class. On the right in their section here there. And then Sarah, she achieved her certification, she took her test right away. And got her certification. The difference between somebody in operations getting their investigation cert versus CSD is CSD isn't, that staff's not issued fire helmets until they get a investigator cert. So that picture on the left, we gave Sarah her fire investigator helmet last week, or this week, actually. And then since then, Erica has also passed her test just yesterday or day before, something like that. Yeah. Phase 1 projects at the training center in our project down there is complete. The wellness center, the infrastructure for the burn building, those were the 3 main pieces. And then the getting rid of the smokehouse, cleaning up the confined space prop that still had flood debris and damage in it. And then the funds that were left went towards replacing some blacktop. And those of you that walked from the classroom building to the wellness center or the new burn building, and if you successfully made it without twisting an ankle, we've hopefully fixed all of that, and it's a nice surface all the way through there now. It looks great.
And if not, we got a waiver for that.
That's right. And we just take care of the waiver. Couple pictures from January, the red bandana day at Good Sam, and then engine 43 at the Namakwa Fun Run over at the Namakwa Pool.
Few fires we have, since our last board meeting, Chief Ward and Chief Morowski happened to be in the neck of the woods. They took some pictures and I thought I might as well just use the one with Chief Morowski in there, but technically a garage fire in Windsor's area that we provided auto aid to. And then the old Jack's building, had a fire, which we believe was a ballast that had some drop down that caught a pallet on fire underneath it, so.
Is that after they left or?
Yeah, they were using the back area, but for storage, but the front area was the Halloween store. But it's a sprinkler building, so.
Yeah, so I think that just demonstrates the importance of sprinklers. You look at that, basically the pallet's the only thing that burned. Big structure had a lot of potential, but sprinklers kept it in check. Furthermore, I think we did some research, not on light duty. But we had one of our lieutenants did some research. The ballast actually had a recall on it. So I don't know ultimately what that leads to, but it's interesting. We would have had no idea that something like that was out there, but he found that it had a recall on it. We'll see where it goes from there.
The last one was a small fire on video court, and I'm part of one that they were quickly able to get to.
We've got two questions. There was an article in the paper this morning about wildland firefighting and the incidence of breathing issues with wildland firefighters not having breathing apparatus and such. What do we have and don't have as far as wildland firefighting?
Like the breathing part,
Yeah.
there's really nothing there that is well used or routinely used. We do offer N95 masks. We do have special filters that you can wear that puts in a 95 mask in it. Bandanas, but I would say 9 times out of 10 are not utilized. They do their best to not work in the smoke, but sometimes they don't have that option.
Yeah, this is the
Any idea in cost and what it would take, so we're protecting people in our area?
I wouldn't say it's a cost issue. It's probably yeah, maybe.
This is a national issue that's been ongoing, certainly with the larger, more national wildfires. This has been something they've been studying. It's just not a functional thing that you can do. I mean, he's talking about the respirators of sorts. It's almost like 9/11, trying to dig through the rubble pile. Respirators were provided. Many people didn't do it just because functionality was compromised. But it is something. I mean, obviously we advocate uphill, upwind, from anything that you can to stay out of the smoke, but.
So when you say functionality, it's hard for them to wear the apparatus and fight the fire at the same time?
It's not comfortable.
You couldn't wear air like we do for a structure. It's just not practical. Because, obviously the terrain, the limitations on the air supply, 30 minutes or less, they'd be changing out constantly.
They for sure have the supplies. They have the tools. If they want one of those masks, they don't have it, we provide it, but most of the time it comes down to the working environment of trying to operate without.
Okay,
Like a
thank you.
bandana.
And one last question. When we got the initial packet, there was a volume call slide in there showing 15% for rural and 85% for the city, which is great. It's a great illustration, but we don't have it in this packet. Is it just my packet's missing or is everybody's packet?
They just not have been added. I apologize.
And please, if we could, let's make sure on whichever one goes into the archives that one's in there.
Was that the first packet that was sent out? Or the second?
The first packet, I believe, had it.
Okay.
And we were sent a total of 3 packets, as I
Yeah.
recall.
I missed putting it in this one because it's a separate report that I pull, so I apologize. I will make sure it is in there.
Okay, yeah, and I don't make a big issue. I just want to make sure that we have it for reference at a later date. Okay, Chief, anything else that you have for the board today?
Nope.
Board, anything you have for us? Question?
He wants more cookies.
They're your cookies.
I'd rather have the sweatshirt.
No, that's a big no.
Well, we'll get you one if you lose the election. There's something to look forward to.
That was my good budget.
We'll have you back. Hopefully you're here next month.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be non-political. I take that back.
That's good, yeah.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. Look forward to seeing you next time. Jackie, please stay in touch.
Oh, you'll sit around.
We're gonna go back to work and open another Rabosk or,
I'll be doing jewelry. I still do jewelry from home. It's, I just sell on Etsy now. So I'll have more time for that.
thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Jack.
All right, go get your cookies, John.
Cookies.
Nice.